Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Mr. Muflih back with you, and today I'm gonna have a guest on, and I'm very excited for this video because it's the first time I have someone on my channel, and you all show amazing support on Hedera Hashgraph. That's why I wanted the first time to be all about Hedera Hashgraph. So I have brought on someone who is very involved in the HBAR community, and he's been a part of it for a couple years now, so he has a lot of experience with them. So I wanted to bring him on, ask him a couple questions, and see what he thinks about Hedera Hashgraph's future and whether or not he's selling anytime soon, because we've seen a massive rise. So I just wanted to hear his opinion, and if you get any value out of this video or learn something yourself, make sure you show your appreciation to him and myself by just smashing the like button real quick. It's right down below, and I hope you all get some really great value out of this because I know I learned a lot from it. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and I am very excited to present to you Supremax67. Many of you probably know who he is already because he's been part of the Hedera Hashgraph community for a long time now. So I just want to ask him some questions, see what his experience is with Hedera Hashgraph, how far does he think they can go, and just get to learn about each other. So I guess I'll leave the floor to you, Supremax, and you can tell us what you want to share with us.
So I've been involved, and this for me is a pastime. I'm not paid by Hedera. I've known actually quite a few in person when I went to Hedera 18. It was this huge event that they did. It was their first event that they did where they were doing worldwide hackathons. If I remember correctly, there was 8 locations.
You've been part of the Hedera Hashgraph community, I guess, now for over 3 years?
Definitely over 3 years. Actually, almost 3 years and a half. So I followed since I have learned about Hashgraph. So Hedera wasn't even a thing at the time. There's a video out there called A Simple Explanation of Hashgraph. If people are patient and like math, they may want to take a look at it. It's about 58 minutes long. It kind of explains how the algorithm comes to consensus. And it's weird. So when I saw the video, and it's pretty boring stuff when you think about it because it's not flashy presentation, but I don't know. So something in me just clicked. I looked at that. I looked at the presentation. It's not the type of material that I would look at. And at the time, I was looking at different type of project. I went anywhere from Ethereum to Monero. I'm sure people know that one as well.
So that was when you first started researching about cryptocurrencies, and you're a beginner, basically.
Yeah, so it was, I started cryptocurrency research, I'd say spring or summer of 2017. But there was always a part of me that always found an issue with the project I was following. I liked it, but it wasn't enough to rate it 10 out of 10, so to speak. So I just kept wandering around, and I spent so much time looking at projects. I would wake up in the morning, spend 12 hours researching, go to bed, wake up the next day, just rinse and repeat. And it was just it was just a disappointment because I liked it. I found something. Oh, I like this one.
Yeah.
Okay, but I keep finding these little flaws. It was either security, speed, adoption, FOMO. I absolutely despise the term FOMO because it's people promoting something with no actual backing, and people. Sorry.
It's kind of like Dogecoin with what we're seeing with them.
Oh, don't get me started. So I'm not in it for the profits, although it's a nice side effects, but I'm in it for the technology. What's actually going to solve problems, and that's what we need. We don't need more fluff. We don't need more noise. We need something that's actually addressing issues. And Hashgraph had great potentials when I saw it in November 2017. So I kept a close eye on the project for quite some time. Then in March, their website was, I think, HederaHashgraph.com, which was eventually renamed to Hedera.com. But their website had an announcement said announcement, March 18, I think it was the date, March 18, 2018, I believe, or March. Someone's going to correct me on this, but it was definitely in March 2018 that their website was saying big announcement coming. And obviously, it was their announcement at the New York event saying that they were going public. So that means a public DLT, people who can build on it. And it was more than just Hashgraph, because Hashgraph is proprietary to Swirls, which is the private version of the ledgers. And then they went public. And then the public means anyone can use it. They can build smart contracts, although everyone knows by now smart contracts are inherently slow. But they can build smart contracts. They can move crypto at what 1/100 of a penny. Crypto transfers. Then they eventually came up with more services like the Hedera consensus service, which that one just made sense because they're just using their algorithm, but they're doing in such a way that other people can take advantage of it without being Hedera themselves. It's
I guess so. Like, you really had to believe in Hedera Hashgraph for you to be invested in it, or like follow it from 2017 all the way to today. It's over about 4 years, over 3 years. And like you said, at first you weren't even able to invest in it, even if you wanted to. Like, unless you're a SAFT investor, I think then you would be able to buy in. But you really had to believe in it for you to be following it all the way through. And I want to get like your opinion on how much further do you think Hedera Hashgraph can go? Because I've seen your comments on my YouTube videos, and I kind of know what your expectations are and what you think about Hedera Hashgraph. But you, as a very early investor, someone that's much earlier than me, and probably 90% of the people invested in Hedera Hashgraph right now, what do you think is the prospects of Hedera Hashgraph in the next 5 to 10 years? Like, how big of a company slash project do you think they can get?
That's a really hard question to answer, and I'll maybe I can go sideways to provide some context. So my reasoning for Hedera and is when others are going to realize that other projects are not as successful or as efficient, and what we're getting. I call it crypto noise. So there's so many projects out there, including unfortunately Bitcoin being on top of the market. And one of the reasons why it's on top of the market is because when you go to an exchange, everything is pegged against it. Mm-hmm. So sometimes people have to use BTC to move to another currency, and then it fluffs up the volume. People think that, oh yeah, it's being traded so much, BTC must be a great thing. No, it's just because someone is just trying to get from this coin to that coin. So in your case, Singularity Net, is it AGI for the token? Mm-hmm. So there's some exchange. I'm sure there's a AGI to BTC, and if you want to switch those for HBARs, then you'd have to go through BTC. So you end up buying BTC, and that's what's fluffing the market. I think if we need to see growth, really, really go exponential, we need to stop having BTC and F as paid currency. If they did HBAR, for example, as a paid currency, and it wouldn't make sense because they have a strong governance and the fees are low, then I'd see HBAR at the same time gaining momentum. They're going to get momentum, but 5 to 10 years from now, it's so hard to say. There's too much crypto noise to know in which direction this is. I would have mentioned this before, but I'm in it for retirement. I'm not touching it till 20, 25 years at least.
So that leads me to the next question, I guess. Like, now we're all expecting a massive bull run. You know, people are expecting Bitcoin to hit 300K, maybe more, maybe less, but still, we're going to see a massive pump in a lot of the altcoins. So if you see Hedera Hashgraph, for example, because I've spoken about it on my channel, how if I see HBAR get to extremely high levels, then I'll think to myself, maybe I should sell, buy in so I can have more tokens. Is that something that has ever crossed your mind, or are you going to hold either way? If it goes up 10,000% and then comes back down 90%, are you going to hold all the way through and you're just not going to try to time anything?
Well, I'm only in there for the dips. So if there is a dip that comes in, and then right now I'm looking at half levels. So if from an all-time high, if it goes at a half level, I'll probably buy some more.
Mhm.
And no, I'm not an accredited investor, in case someone's wondering. I'm just a regular guy who's using their paycheck efficiently for buying HBAR. But I'm just looking for the dips, buying in, and it doesn't matter what Hedera does. If it goes down, if it goes up, my plan is still keeping those till retirement. I'm not touching them. I may decide to touch the benefits of proxy staking when it does become available. I'll see what I do with those when it comes in. But in terms of investment, no, I'm not touching them regardless where it's going. And my primary reason to be invested in Hedera is not the profit; it's the technology. It's like it's like you go for voting, right? You go to a town, you vote for your president, you vote for mayor. That
Mhm.
vote matters, but how do you vote for your best crypto? Well, the way you do that is putting money into it.
Yeah.
So I see my money that I invest in HBAR as my way to vote for this technology. And this is what I'm doing. I'm saying to Hedera Hashgraph that this project is awesome. Here's my vote.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair enough. Would you mean, would you mind sharing with us like what is your average around your average cost per H bar? Because a lot of people now are buying in at around 35, 40 cents for the first time. They might be thinking that, hey, it's a bad purchase because it's at an all-time high, basically, you know?
Mhm.
So if you maybe can share with us what is your average cost around there, like it doesn't have to be exact, just so like people can realize that you're already at a massive profit, but you're
Yeah.
still not selling. You're not even thinking about it because
No,
it's
no, I'm
something
not.
you truly
I'm
believe
not even thinking. Yeah. So first time I bought them, I don't know the average. I'll give you the where I usually bought them. First time I bought them was at 5.5 cents. That's before they consolidated around the 1 cent level.
in.
I bought some around the 3 cents and 2 cents level before that, and then small purchase around 1 cent. I was crossing my fingers that they would go down again, and then they made that Google announcement, which yeah, the price went up to 7 cents shortly after that. So I waited because after an announcement like this, I figured, yeah, there's too much hype or FOMO. I'm just gonna wait until it consolidate, which it did 3 cents for oh boy, what 12 months,
Yeah.
and I just kept buying on a regular basis at 3 cents level. And my last purchase was around 11 cents.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. That's, I guess it's a, although like you guys watching, whoever's watching right now, listening to this and us speak to Supreme Max and getting his insight to see how far he's come and the fact that he truly believes in the project is really refreshing. Me as a content creator, someone that has been telling you that, hey, I might try to time when is the best time to sell and buy back in. Just hearing a different perspective from someone who's been in the project longer than I have is very valuable, and I hope you guys also appreciate it, ladies. Also, whoever's watching, um, it is very valuable. Like the fact that he's already up possibly 1,000%, and it's not even in his mind to sell anytime soon. That should make you also look for projects that you truly believe in and invest for 5, 10, 25 years, like Supreme Max mentioned. That is what you should do. And if it's not Hedera Hashgraph, that's fine. You know, find something that works with you, that you believe in, that you'll buy on the dips. Because like Supreme Max said, it went from 7 cents all the way back down to 1 cent. So that's what, like a 80%, 90% drop. So it's very significant. You truly have to believe in the project to stay holding those that whole 2, 3 years.
Yeah, so if they're listening, I'd say, like I was saying, vote for what you want your future to be, because there's many ways to get rich. There, a hash graph is not the only one, and I've made that argument before. I want to see a future where we can actually use the technology. And it doesn't really matter which direction this thing goes. most of your viewers, if this thing goes to 10 cents, and I highly doubt, they just announced the biggest South Korean bank joining the governing council, which I'm upset, but everyone else is happy because I'm looking to buy dips, right? I'm in for the long run, but everyone else is happy about it. So I'm the opposite. I'm what's the word? Devil's advocate. So I'm my own devil's advocate when it comes to this, because everyone is happy when it goes up. I'm not, because I am just looking for the dips. I'm not playing to sell, so I don't care when it goes up because I know where the future is going.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my viewpoint. And people would be like, well, why do you come to the defense of Hedera if you want the price to go down? Right? It's a contradiction itself, but it's because I believe in the technology. That's why I'm always in the comment section of YouTube and just correcting people when they're using misinformation. I had a guy the other day says this thing is going to go 1,000x by the end of the year. Let's be real. It's not. It's gonna be a nice retirement, yes, but I'm not gonna be considered like one of those crazy millionaires. I would have to be like I would have to hold at least 1 million HBAR, and I can tell you I don't know older 1 million HBAR. That
So what is your price target? I would say for 2021. Like people are saying,
uh, I don't like to do price prediction because it relies too much on hype. I can tell you how I see the valuation of Hedera, what Hedera is worth based on market cap.
mhm,
And Apple company reached $2 trillion, but a Apple company doesn't really solve any problem. They offer consumer goods, computers, devices, but there's other companies that would just move into the market if Apple didn't exist. There is no one else that could move into the market space if Hedera didn't exist, because there's a patent around the technology, so you can't replace Hedera with something else. So let's assume that it's worth as much as Apple, if you're being super optimistic. uh, then looking at target of 2 trillion market cap for I don't know what the circulation supply is right now. It's 7 billion,
like about 8 billion.
8 billion. So it,
But like just to be clear, like your 2 trillion, I guess comparison with Apple, that's not for this year. That's just
if you're asking me still to give you a price by the end of the year, okay. Let's see. I don't like doing these things because I don't do price prediction. But if I were to give one, let's go with a pessimistic one.
mhm,
Pessimistic one, I'll go with 40 to 45 cents, and I'm saying pessimistic
okay.
because it's I think it's trying to consolidate right now.
Mhm,
Um, and if we're looking for a very aggressive one, considering it's able to do 10x in a short amount of time, then the highest it reaches 42, 45 cents. Let's say 42 cents.
mhm.
Then that would be $4.20 if we're going on the base on a 10x. Um,
Yeah, I think that's what a lot of people are expecting because people are jumping in now at 40 cents and they want to make it 10x because in the 2017 bull run, we saw a lot of altcoins. Yeah, I know you don't like for people to use Hedera Hashgraph and altcoin in the same
it,
sentence, but we saw a lot of altcoins go up 10, 100 times. So people are having those maybe unrealistic expectations. So that's kind of why I wanted to get your opinion on what's going on.
yeah, and the fact that I'm not looking for selling, I really don't care where the market is going, because I know where the future is for the era. That future is pretty solid. I mean, companies are recognizing the potential of Hedera, and they're not they're not doing anything crazy already. I mean, they're just starting. They came out publicly trading in fall of 2018. So yeah, it's going to be. I think it's about 2.5 years publicly traded, and they already have those governing members. If you put that in your mind for a second, if you're a person that has never found out about blockchain, that
Hmm.
doesn't know anything about crypto, and you're saying that a company that publicly started trading 2.5 years later has governing members in the top 500, top Fortune 500,
Hmm.
and they have 19 of them. Take that out of context. Remove crypto out of the equation. Take this as a blind slate. That blows your mind right away.
Yeah, yeah, it really
You,
does. That was one thing that I was going to cover, like the fact that other cryptocurrency projects, like, and I'm not saying this because we love Hedera Hashgraph. It's really like it speaks for itself. Like you said, when I was doing my own research and trying to find the best crypto projects, I just kept coming dead ends. You know, like how can Bitcoin use more power than Norway or Sweden, or why is
Yeah.
Ethereum? I want to buy $100 worth of crypto. I have to pay 20% in fees. Like those are things that just didn't sit well with me. And then I found Hedera Hashgraph, like you said, and they're partnered up with some of the largest companies in the world. And that just kind of like, if in 2 years they can achieve that, like you said, imagine what's to come in the future. Maybe Apple, Amazon, the US Federal Reserve, like we spoke about on my channel. So a lot of those things, yes, maybe some of them will not happen, but if any two or three of them happens, then you will see a huge increase in demand for this HBAR very easily, I think. And
Yeah, and I would give a general warning for anyone thinking of blockchain investment. I would say feel free to invest in anything that doesn't compete with Hedera. I found my golden egg, not necessarily the most profitable one, but at least the lowest, the low risk. It's all about finding low risk, great opportunities, and I think HBAR just checks all
well,
that marks.
it sounds like you're kind of like me. You try to find a couple of your favorite investments and just focus on those. Make sure that you're making the best decision and you don't try to diversify too much because that can kind of be a distraction. Yeah, am I getting that correctly?
Yeah, exactly. In crypto world, that's it. Just pick one good winner. I'm not saying where I'm invested as well because I don't want to change the topic. But I do have two different type of investment, which is not related to crypto, and those two investments are not related to each other. So and something happens to the crypto market, it won't affect my other two investments. The markets are not correlated.
Yeah, so like I guess that's another really good piece of advice. Now, if we go into 2022, 2023, and for 2 years, again, we don't see any movement, no gains, nothing. You want to have something on the side that's actually doing well. You know,
Mhm.
whatever it is, stock market, real estate, whatever it is, your business, you want to have an investment on the side that you can kind of fall back on just in case anything happens. So I agree
Yep,
with that.
exactly. Here's a good example. YouTuber. That's an investment. People, I won't go too much detail, but I used to stream. I know how much work it takes to be on YouTube. I'm going to share a link with you. It's a CoinMarketCap link. I stumbled upon it just a couple of days ago. It's their historical. So it's a specific address on the date of November 24th, 2019. And I'm going to ask to scroll down completely at the bottom of that link and tell me what you see at position 199.
There, Hashgraph.
Yeah, Hedera Hashgraph was ranked 199 in CoinMarketCap on 24th of November 2019. And if you're ever curious, for people who likes to surf the web, I'll give them a little trick. If you have a middle button mouse, you just click on each of the coins on top of that and it opens up in a separate window. The reason you would want to do this is just for curiosity purposes. If you ever check any of the coins above rank 199 of their Hashgraph, their rank or for almost all of them went down substantially. I mean, there's general attention currency that's position 196 back then,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not even listed anymore. It's completely out of order. It's like there doesn't have a rank. All these coins above it there are just like I'd say easily 50% of them are gone, and Hedera managed to get all the way to I think rank 34 was his highest, and they started at 199.
Wow. Yeah, honestly, I would say about 75% of these cryptos are probably gone now.
There's one called Bitcoin HD. I mean, come on, people are lacking imagination here. And Bitcoin HD ended up at 766 rank now. It's like it's I can almost guarantee Bitcoin HD was an attempt to get more money. Someone was trying somewhere to milk more money out of Bitcoin's FOMO. But yeah, I'm going through that list. It's bad.
It's just hard to imagine. Like people right now are invested heavily in these tokens, and probably they'll be gone in a couple of years' time. We are seeing a lot of, like you said, blockchain projects that seem to be doing the exact same thing. So obviously, we're not going to need all of them. Many of them are going to disappear. Many of them are just cash grab schemes. Many of them don't add any value. So
Yeah.
we're probably going to see a lot more of this. Like, this is very interesting what you sent to me, and the fact that Hedera Hashgraph was at 199. Wow.
Yeah, it's based on, because someone made an argument. They said releasing supply will reduce the value of the coin, because oh my God, it's a 50 billion supply, and there's at the time was I think something like 2 billion or 3 billion in circulation,
Mhm.
and people were freaking out. It's like they look at the tokenomics. It's like, oh, it's never going to gain value. But the only reason why it went up the charts because the price stayed steady and still climbed up, regardless of the fact that they released token. If they were dumping all these tokens in 1 year, then sure, it would generate the scare that I would be happy about because I would move in and buy some more. But that's not their intention. The intention of this slow release is to prevent Sybil attacks.
Mhm. Yeah, I was gonna say, just to be clear, like the reason why they're doing this slow release is to protect from attacks, yes, but also to make it completely decentralized, right? Because a lot of people are saying that it's patented. That's why they don't want to invest in it. That's what Charles Hoskinson has been saying the whole time, that it's patented garbage. Literally, that's what he described it Hedera Hashgraph as. So the reason why we have this slow release is so we can actually build a decentralized platform. Yeah, like that's basically as simple as I can say it, because I think what if 1/3 of the tokens are controlled by a single party, that's when we will be at risk of an attack. So that's why they want to spread out the supply completely in 20 years, I think, 15 years. And then so they want to make sure that they're doing it right.
Yeah, and the main focus has always been to mitigate the Sybil attacks, which means that no single entity can own more than 1/3 of the tokens.
Also, one thing that people are overlooking a lot is the fact that Hedera Hashgraph is based in the United States. Like we have a lot of projects that are in Europe or in Asia. And the United States, obviously they want to seem like they're the strongest country in the world. So they would go with an organization that's based here. So it's also like, why, yeah, we have Cardano, for example, but then it's a question of what's better, Hedera Hashgraph or Cardano for this. I personally believe Hedera Hashgraph. And then the fact that we're based in the United States as well gives the US government more oversight on Hedera Hashgraph. So it's something that they will have to work very close knit with each other on if they want to achieve a digital currency. So that's something that also I think investors should pay attention to, the geographic aspect of things.
Well, the consensus, I think there was a town hall meeting. I don't know if there was the last one, the one before, but the consensus, how it's reached in the Hedera Hashgraph. First of all, they don't know who submits what on the Hedera. They can see the activities, they can see the accounts, they can see where it's going to, but you can encrypt messages when you send it to network. So even if they could see activities going back and forth, they don't necessarily know what those activities are for unless the company talks to Hedera directly. Like the biggest user of transactions right now for Hedera is Hasdax. So Hasdax right now is responsible for more than 50% of their transaction. And Hasdax moved over from, no, actually they tried to do Ethereum, but obviously Ethereum was just too expensive to do what they're doing. So when they move over to Hedera didn't know Asdac was doing this until Asdac told Hedera. So there's no way to censor anything that's happening on the network, even if they wanted to. Even if the U.S. government says, "Okay, I want you to stop all transaction coming from this company." Look at the accounts. There's no name attached to these. How do they know which one is which? You
Regardless
can't.
of don't they have like an identity system that's also part of the value attraction? Where like Hedera can actually see where the transactions are going to if they wanted to?
They can see where they're going to, but the algorithm is not designed to block transaction. They don't have the power to block,
Okay.
and they don't have the power to debit accounts either. Can you imagine? They don't even have the power to debit the accounts. They have the option to have services. So one of those services will be account renewal fees, which hasn't kicked in yet, and the account renewal fees, I believe, is in the 1/100th of a penny or something like that. I can't remember the price, but it's really, really low. Like someone who has $10 in their account, their account would never expire during their lifetime. That's how low the fees are. And then the reason why they have those fees, which haven't are not active just yet, is there is a cost associated to keeping your account active on the network.
Literally, it's all on their website. If you're watching right now, and if you want to learn more about Hedera Hashgraph, it's all on their website. They try to be as transparent as possible. Yes, they want to hide big catalysts, but they put everything on their website, their white papers, their vision, their partners up until this point. So that's all for you to read through on the website if you want to. I think also people just need to educate themselves, because a lot of people are, like you said earlier, they're kind of making silly comments on my videos or like on other Hedera Hashgraph videos because they do not know what Hedera Hashgraph is. They hear people talking crap about it and they think it's a bad project, but they don't want to go and read for themselves what can this technology do. And I'm learning every day. Like right now, just talking to you, I'm learning stuff about Hedera Hashgraph that I never knew existed. So it's definitely a very sophisticated technology that people can learn about in much more detail than they already have. I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah, they thought of everything at this point because a company can always make mistakes, but so far they've been really on the money on things.
So what mistake would they have to make for you to think twice about your investment?
Oh, you're crossing that line, huh? Okay. What would Hedera have to do? I know they're not going to do it, but I'll just mention that something they would have to do that would make me question them completely. Sure, I'll take one. If they decide not to do proxy staking.
Thank you, Supremax. I appreciate you for coming on to my channel and sharing with us your experience with Hedera Hashgraph and what you think we can achieve in the next couple of years. It's also very refreshing to hear that you are not planning on selling anytime soon, which, again, from an early investor like yourself, which is up a lot already, is good to hear. To see that you're truly invested for the long term, you believe in this technology, and that you will stick it out, hopefully, no matter what. And yeah, so thank you, Supremax. Do you have any closing thoughts that you want to share with us?
No, thank you. If people have questions, they should be able to know how to reach me. And I would say, don't forget to subscribe to Mr. Mufle.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you, and I hope you all have a great day, especially you, Supremax. And thank you all. Mr. Mufleh, out. Supremax and I had an amazing conversation. It was over an hour long, but I wanted to cut it down for you all so you just get the best parts of our conversation. So again, if you got any value out of it, make sure you show your support for this channel. We still have a long way to go, and 2021 is not the end. Like Supremax said, he's holding this for 20 years plus. So you should have that same perspective with your favorite investments, not just Hedera Hashgraph. Anything that you truly believe in, you should think about the long-term vision. So that's one thing that I hope you take away from this video. And again, I appreciate you all for watching up until this point. Until next time, Mr. Mufleh, out.